There's a moment when a woman stops being casually interested and starts wanting more. And the truth is, most men completely miss when that shift happens. Because women usually don't announce desire in a loud, obvious way. They don't always come out and say, I want more of your attention, or I want you closer, or I'm thinking about you in a different way now. Instead, it shows up in little changes. In the way she looks at you a second longer. In the way she starts creating openings. In the way her energy around you becomes warmer, softer, and at the same time somehow harder to ignore. And if you don't understand what those changes mean, you can easily mistake real attraction for politeness, real emotional pull for friendliness, and real desire for maybe she's just like that. She's usually not. Because when a woman wants more, her behavior starts saying what her mouth still hasn't said yet. And once you learn how to notice that shift, you start seeing what most men never catch, until it's way too late. The first sign is subtle, but it changes everything. She starts giving you access. And I don't just mean physically, I mean emotionally, mentally, personally. A woman who is only casually engaging with you stays on the surface. She'll talk, she'll laugh, she'll be pleasant, but there's still a distance there. You can feel it. She's present, but not really letting you in. But when she starts wanting more, that distance begins to disappear. She starts telling you little things about herself she didn't have to share. She opens up about random memories, private opinions, things that made her emotional, things she usually keeps to herself. And what makes this important is not just what she says, it's that she's inviting you into her inner world. That's a big shift, because attraction in women often grows through emotional safety first. If she's letting you see the version of her that isn't polished, isn't guarded, isn't performing, that usually means she's no longer just entertaining your presence. She's testing what it feels like to let you matter. And this is where a lot of men get it wrong. They hear her opening up and assume she just trusts them as a friend. Sometimes that's true. But if that emotional openness comes with softness, consistency, curiosity, and a different kind of attention, it's usually not just friendship. Because women don't deepen access for no reason. And once that door opens, the next sign starts showing up too. She begins looking for your attention in ways that feel small, but aren't small at all. This is one of the biggest signs men overlook. When she wants more, she starts wanting to feel your focus. Not just your presence, your focus. She wants to know that when she walks into the room, you notice. That when she says something, you actually hear it. That when she changes something about herself, you catch it. And no, this doesn't always mean she's going to do something dramatic. Sometimes it's much quieter than that. She might send you something random just to keep the conversation alive. She might suddenly become more playful in text. She might ask questions she already knows the answer to, just to hear from you. She might lightly tease you, challenge you, or say something that's clearly designed to get a reaction out of you. Why? Because attention is emotional proof. And when a woman starts craving more of your attention, what she's really craving is your emotional energy. She wants to know if she lives in your mind the way you've started living in hers. That's why she doesn't always say it directly. She creates little moments instead, little invitations, little emotional taps on the shoulder. And if you miss this part, you'll misunderstand her completely. Because a woman who wants more doesn't always chase loudly. A lot of the time, she invites quietly. That's the difference. And once she starts inviting your attention, another sign becomes almost impossible to ignore. Her body language changes around you. Not in some fake, exaggerated way, in a real way. Because attraction usually leaks through the body before it ever becomes a sentence. She starts facing you more fully. She leans in when you speak. Her eyes stay on you longer than they need to. Her smile lingers. She touches her hair more when she's talking to you. She mirrors your energy without realizing it. And maybe the biggest one of all, she becomes more aware of how she feels in your presence. You can feel when a woman becomes more awake around you. Her energy gets slightly brighter, slightly more alert, slightly more alive. That doesn't happen by accident, because when she wants more, she's no longer just interacting with you, she's feeling you, and that changes everything. Now, does body language alone prove everything? No. But body language plus emotional availability plus attention-seeking behavior, that combination tells a much deeper story. And the deeper truth is this: women rarely reveal desire directly, they reveal it in shifts. That's what you have to learn to read. And one of the strongest shifts of all is when she starts making herself more available to you. This one matters more than men realize. A woman who is interested but not deeply invested will usually respond when it's convenient. But a woman who wants more starts making room. She replies faster. She keeps conversations going longer. She finds reasons to stay in touch. She suddenly has more space for you in her schedule, more space for you in her attention, and more space for you in her emotional life. And no, that doesn't mean she becomes desperate. Actually, when it's real, it often looks calm, natural, effortless. That's what makes it powerful. She's not forcing contact, she's allowing it. And that's a huge difference. Because time is one of the clearest signs of value. People make time for what pulls them emotionally. So if she keeps finding ways to be around you, talk to you, hear from you, or stay connected to you, don't brush that off too quickly. Especially if she's a woman with options. Especially if she's normally busy. Especially if she doesn't do that with everyone. That's where the pattern matters. Not one moment, the pattern. And once that pattern starts, another sign usually follows right behind it. She starts caring how you see her. This is where attraction gets even more obvious. If you know what to look for. A woman who wants more starts becoming more intentional around you. She pays a little more attention to how she looks. She notices your reactions more. She remembers what you complimented before. She might play it cool, but she's watching. She's noticing what makes you light up. And that doesn't mean she's trying to become someone else for you. It means your opinion has started carrying emotional weight. That's important, because when a woman doesn't care, she doesn't track your perception. But when she does care, she starts becoming aware of the version of herself that exists in your eyes. And that's a very intimate shift. A lot of men think attraction is only about what a woman says out loud. It's not. Sometimes attraction is in what she starts becoming more conscious of around you. The way she fixes her hair before seeing you. The way she checks your reaction after saying something bold. The way she acts casual while clearly hoping you notice more than she's admitting. That's not random. That's emotional investment, trying not to be too obvious. And honestly, that's where female attraction becomes really interesting, because it's rarely just one loud move. It's a series of quiet signals that all start pointing in the same direction. And one of the strongest signals women rarely fake is emotional jealousy. Now let's be clear, I'm not talking about toxic behavior, controlling behavior, or unnecessary drama. I'm talking about subtle emotional reactions. When she wants more, she starts reacting differently to the idea of other women around you. Maybe she asks questions in a casual tone that don't feel completely casual. Maybe she gets a little more curious when another woman's name comes up. Maybe she lightly jokes about who you're talking to, but she's not really joking as much as she's pretending to be. Why does this happen? Because once a woman starts feeling emotionally attached, your attention stops feeling neutral. It starts feeling valuable. And when something feels valuable, the possibility of losing access to it creates tension. That tension is revealing. It doesn't mean she owns you. It means she cares more than she planned to. And that's the part women don't always say out loud. A lot of attraction isn't announced with confidence. Sometimes it leaks out through emotion first. And this is where most men get it completely wrong. They see these subtle reactions and either overreact way too fast or they ignore them completely. Both are mistakes. Because the goal is not to become arrogant and assume every signal means obsession. The goal is to become aware enough to recognize when her energy has clearly shifted. That's maturity. That's emotional intelligence. And if you can read that well, you'll also notice another powerful sign. She starts creating tension on purpose. This is where things get really revealing. A woman who wants more often becomes a little more playful, a little more daring, and a little more emotionally provocative. She teases you differently. She says things that have a tiny edge to them. She gives you that look that says she knows exactly what she's doing, even if she never says it. She starts enjoying the chemistry between you instead of hiding from it. That matters. Because when a woman is unsure or uninterested, she usually avoids tension. But when she wants more, she starts playing with it. She wants to feel the spark. She wants to see if you feel it too. And more than that, she wants to see if you can handle it. This is huge, because women are often paying attention not just to attraction, but to your emotional steadiness inside attraction. Can you read the moment without forcing it? Can you hold eye contact without becoming awkward? Can you flirt without trying too hard? Can you feel the energy without rushing to label it? That's where a lot of men lose the plot. They finally get a real signal, and then they panic, over-pursue, or make it too heavy too fast, and that kills the tension she was trying to build. Because attraction doesn't grow through pressure. It grows through rhythm, through emotional timing, through knowing how to stay present in the moment instead of trying to control where it goes. And if you understand that, you'll notice one of the deepest signs of all. She starts wanting to be seen beyond the surface. This one is powerful. When a woman wants more, she doesn't just want your attention in a general way. She wants your specific attention. She wants to know if you really see her. Not just that she's attractive, not just that she's fun, not just that she's feminine, but that you notice the details, her moods, her contradictions, her softness, her strength, the side of her she doesn't show everyone. That's when attraction stops being casual and starts becoming emotionally intimate. Because now she's not just asking, do you like me? She's silently asking, do you understand me? And that question changes everything. You'd be surprised how many women are drawn in, not by the loudest man in the room, but by the man who notices what others overlook. Because what feels small to you may be emotionally loud to her. The way you remember something she said 3 weeks ago, the way you notice when her energy is off, the way you understand her without needing everything explained. That creates emotional pull in a way most men underestimate. And once she feels seen like that, she often starts dropping one final kind of signal that tells you this is no longer light, casual, or accidental. She starts imagining you in her emotional future. And yes, women reveal this without always realizing they're doing it. She starts talking to you in a way that includes tomorrow, next weekend, that restaurant you should try together, that movie you'd both like, that place she says you'd love, that random little thing months from now. It sounds harmless on the surface, but psychologically it's huge. Because when a woman starts placing you into her future language, it usually means she's no longer experiencing you as temporary. She's beginning to picture continuity, and that is one of the clearest signs she wants more than just a passing connection. She's not just enjoying the moment anymore, she's mentally extending it. That's a very different level of interest. And this is the point where men need to hear something important. If she's giving you these signs, don't ruin it by becoming blind, passive, or careless. But also don't ruin it by becoming overeager and intense. There's a balance. The right move is not to force the moment, it's to meet it. That's what emotionally intelligent men do. They don't panic when attraction appears. They don't fumble the energy by trying to lock everything down too quickly. And they also don't play clueless while she's clearly opening doors. They recognize it, they respond to it, they lead it with calm. That's powerful. Because a woman who wants more is usually watching for one thing above all. Can you feel what's happening without needing her to spell out every part of it? That's where attraction deepens. Not in pressure, not in performance, not in lines, in awareness, in timing, in emotional presence. So if you've been wondering whether she's just being nice or whether there's actually something deeper going on, pay attention to the shifts. Pay attention to access. Pay attention to consistency. Pay attention to her body language. Pay attention to the way she starts seeking your attention, protecting your connection, and inviting more emotional closeness. Because women don't always reveal desire with obvious words. A lot of the time, they reveal it with patterns. And once you learn how to read those patterns, you stop guessing. You stop missing what was right in front of you. And you start understanding attraction the way it actually works in real life. Not in fantasy, not in pickup lines, not in fake confidence, but in the quiet ways a woman says, "Come a little closer," without having to say it at all. And honestly, that's usually when the connection becomes the most real. Because the strongest signals are rarely the loudest ones. They're the ones that keep showing up until you finally understand what they've been trying to say all along. So now I want to ask you something. Which one of these signs have you personally seen before but maybe didn't fully understand at the time? Drop it in the comments. And if you want, tell me the one signal women give that you think men misunderstand the most. Because I promise you, a lot of men watching this are going to realize they missed something important. And if you want more videos that break down female psychology, attraction, body language, and the signs women give when they want more but won't say it directly, stay close. Because the signals are always there. Most men just never learned how to read them.